In this video, let's talk on quadratic equation involving infinite series. So now let's start with question like this. So if we want to evaluate square root of a plus square root of a plus square root of a plus square root of a as in continue to infinity. Now the first thing we do here, we can use the approach by saying let x equals to square root of a. So we say let x equals to this, then we are going to square both sides. So square both sides, so this will becomes s square is equals to, so we square this side also, so everything square, so square both sides. Now if you square both sides, you will notice that these two will cancel out this root, the longest root, because if you have square root of a, everything square, remember this square will cancel out the root, because that root is the same thing as square root of power half, so which is also a. So if you have square root of any number and everything square, so the roots can cancel out. So that means I can cancel out the longest roots here. So we'll now have s square is equals to a plus, remember since this root is cancelled out, the longest root, it will remain only a there, so that will be a plus square root of a plus square root of a plus square root of a plus continue. So after we square both sides, so it will remain this. But remember that x is equals to square root of a plus square root of a plus square root of a plus square root of, as in from here. So s is this, so that means all the values here can represent x, because we've said s is all those values. So that means my equation will become s square is equals to a plus x. So now from here we are going to collect terms in left hand side, so make everything equals to 0. So this will becomes s square minus x, because this is plus, if you cross equality sign it will becomes minus, then minus a, this is also plus a, if you cross equality sign it will becomes minus, everything is 0. Now this is a quadratic equation, so we can use formula method for this quadratic equation. So here a is equals to 1, b is equals to minus 1, so the coefficient of x here and the coefficient of s here, so a is 1, b is minus 1, c is minus a, as in the last number, so c is minus a, and the formula is s is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac, everything over 2a. So now we are going to put all the values into this unknown. So now So x is equals to minus 1. Remember, a is 1, b is minus 1, c is minus a. From equation x squared minus x minus a equals 0. So now minus b, so that becomes minus 1 plus or minus square root of b squared, that is minus 1 squared, minus 4a is 1, then times c is minus a, everything divided by 2a, that is 2 times 1. So x is equals to minus times minus, that will be plus, that is 1 plus or minus square root of b squared, so that will be 1 square, that is minus 1 square is 1, then minus times minus is plus, then 4 times a is 4a, divided by 2 times 1, 2. So if we take the positive roots, so this will becomes, can split it into 2. So x is equals to 1 plus square root of 1 plus 4a divided by 2, or s is equals to 1 minus square root of 1 plus 4a divided by 2. So now we are going to ignore this negative and take the positive. So x, finally x is equals to square root of 1 plus 4a plus 1. You know it is 1 plus 1 plus root 1 plus 4a. So I'm writing root 1 plus 4a first, then plus 1. So anyhow, so root 1 plus 4a, then everything divided by 2. So that is the formula you can use if you see a question like this. That means I can say this is equals to square root of 1 plus 4a plus 1, everything divided by 2, like that. So now if I have question, if I remember this formula, I can be using it to solve question of this form. So let's say example, find the value of square root of 6 plus square root of 6 plus square root of 6 plus square root of 6, as in continue like that. So now since we have shown this formula, that means in this case you can say root a, then my formula I have 4a. So if I substitute here, that means a is equals to 6. So if I put it in that equation, so this will be square root of 1 plus 4a plus 1 divided by 2. So this is the same thing as square root of 1 plus 4 brackets 1, that is 4a. A is a is 6. Yeah, as in a is 6. So square root of 1 plus 4a, then plus 1, everything divided by 2. So this is equals to square root of 1 plus 24 plus 1 divided by 2. So which is equals to square root of 25 plus 1 divided by 2. So which is equals to 5 plus 1 divided by 2, which is equals to 6 divided by 2, which is equals to 3. So like that. So if you use this formula, then you can easily solve this question like that. So that means the solution to this question is 3 as shown in this diagram. So the solution is 3. That means this plus that means square root of 6 plus 6 plus 6. So everything is equals to 3. So like that. Now another way is that you can change this 6, change it to product of two consecutive integers. Two consecutive integers are numbers that follow each other, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are consecutive integer. So now you can change the number. If you can change this number to product of consecutive integers, you are good to go. So this is the same thing as 2 times 3, because 2 and 3 are consecutive integer. So if you can change 6 to that form, then pick the largest number, then that largest number is the answer. So that means square root of 6 plus square root of 6 plus square root of 6 is equals to 3. So which is this? That's another way. So now let's say I have square root of square root of to form 56 plus square root of 56 plus square root of 56 plus square root of 56. So plus like that. So if I have this, so if I can change 56 to product of two consecutive integers, so and 56 is 7 times 8, 56. So that means if I take the largest number, so the results of this question, now is 8. So this is equals to 8, as in the largest number. So that is the short method you can use. And if you can remember the formula also, so you are good to go. So if you use the formula, so let's use the formula also. Yeah, A is equals to 56. So I'll have square root of 1 plus 4a, that will be 56, divided by 2, so plus 1. So which is equals to square root of 1 plus, what is 4 times 56? 224 plus 1 divided by 2. So 224 plus 1, that is 225 plus 1 divided by 2. So 225, square root of 225 is 15 plus 1 divided by 2. That is 16 divided by 2. Then that is 8. So it's the same thing as 8, which is the product of two consecutive integers. So if it is minus that you have here, if it is minus, you take the smallest number as the answer, and in that case here will be minus. so the formula will change. So similar way we show this one, then we can have for minus. Now if it is square root of a minus 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 continue, then this is the same thing as square root of 1 plus 4a minus 1 divided by 2. So if it is minus, so likewise if I have square root of, so if I have square root of 6 minus square root of 6 minus square root of 6 minus square root of 6 minus, like that. So now that means in this case a is still 6. Now if a is 6, so substitute, this will be square root of 1 plus 4 bracket 6 minus 1, but if this is minus, divided by 2. So this is the same thing as square root of 1 plus 24 minus 1 divided by 2. So that is square root of 25 minus 1 divided by 2. So that will be 5 minus 1 divided by 2. That is 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So that means the result of this, if it is minus, will be 2. Or if you take the product of two consecutive integers, 6 is 2 times 3. Now if this number is minus, then pick the smallest number as the answer. So answer is 2. And if it is plus, then you pick the largest number. So that's it. So now we can solve more in another video. Thank you.